All right, today we are going to talk about portion controlling for fat loss. How is it effective? Why would you use it? When would you use it? Let's talk about it. Best way to do portion control, best way to understand portion control is to have a certain set of bowls, plates, Tupperware that you use in order to control your portions. You're not going to go ahead, and if you're trying to portion control, you're not going ahead and use one bowl at a different time, another bowl to measure rice, because it's just going to get really confusing. You don't know what 50 grams is going to look like in that bowl versus that bowl versus that bowl. Best way to overcome that is how you're going to overcome being confused by different bowls, portion sizes, and all that sort of stuff. The key thing here is to get a kitchen scale. Reason why you get a kitchen scale is to obviously measure stuff out so you can portion control correctly. So let's say you have your pasta bowl, and all it can have is 100 grams of pasta at best. Pretty much no matter what kind of pasta you put in there, penne, rigatoni, whatever it is for you, pretty much whatever pasta you put in there, you can't put more than 120 grams. So that bowl is great for cooked pasta. So that's your cooked pasta bowl. Simple and easy for you to understand portion sizes. Then rice, you're gonna have one that just fits 100 to 150 grams of cooked rice. Makes sense? That's always gonna be your rice bowl. And same goes with potatoes. Reason being is because if we can have some sort of portion control for the foods that typically would tip us over, and this is why you can encourage a lot more carbohydrates in your diet if you're responsible with it, if you have the carb bowls. This is where portion controlling is just immaculate. I suppose helping you lose fat, but getting rid of all the thinking involved in order to do so. Protein sources. If you're someone that's really tracking averse and you don't want to track, but you want to have a fair amount of protein, I would just literally recommend the palm of your hand for any sort of meat that you're ingesting. That's it. Keep it nice and simple. Whatever the palm of your hand is, that's how much protein you have per day. Very, very easy. That for me is like a nice couple of pieces of steak. It's about 200 or 250 grams of meat. Easy for me to understand, and you don't need a bowl to determine that. And typically with meat and stuff, it's kind of hard to overeat unless you're having like ribs or something really, really delicious. Typically it's hard to overeat on steak, chicken, all that sort of stuff. And in terms of calories, same thing. It's very hard to overeat on it. That's why diets like the carnivore diet and that sort of stuff work, simply because it's really, really hard to eat all that meat. When it comes to fat sources, this is the tricky one. So I opt completely out of pourable sauces, anything like that, any cheese that can be cut from a block. So what you want to do is spray oil. What you want to do is sliced cheese, so pre-sliced cheese. And you'll want to, as well, on top of having spray oil, sliced cheese, you'll want to have a measuring spoon. The reason why you want all of these is simply because it's going to make the whole portion controlling stuff easier. If you really love olive oil, 9 times out of and you can't really even taste that, and I'm saying it as an Italian, unless you're pouring loads of olive oil in there, and olive oil is the basis for the flavor, your calories are gonna go way up anyway. If you're dieting, you should definitely use spray oil. If you're trying to lose body fat, use oil. Don't be a dumbass. You should be happy that you can still eat pasta and lose weight. I think just pouring olive oil into a situation is just kind of pointless. Sliced cheeses is going to stop you from guesstimating how much cheese you have, and cheese is very, very calorie laden. So that's going to stop you from overeating and any fat sources there. And the measuring spoons is, let's say you do really want pourable olive oil, well, pour it into a tablespoon and then pop it in. Or if you really want a Nutella or whatever that's very, very high in fat, peanut butter that's very high in fat, get a measuring spoon, pour it in, or have your set spoon that you have that you know X amount of peanut butter fits into that spoon. Best way to do that is get a scale and calibrate all of these things with your favorite bowls, utensils, so you know, and just take an average of 3. So let's say if I've got potatoes, I'm gonna get my potato bowl, fill it up full of potatoes, weigh it, empty it, weigh it, empty it, weigh it, and then I'm gonna get the average of all 3 of those numbers, and that is gonna be the number that I determine fits in that bowl. So let's say if you have one time it's 140 grams of potatoes that fit in the bowl, one time it's 130, and then another time it's 140, I'm gonna say it's about 135 grams of potatoes that fit in that bowl, give or take, or even 140 you can say, okay? That way you know exactly how much, with a 1 to 5% variance, how much is actually gonna fit in your bowl, okay? Same goes with your measuring spoons, same goes with whatever else you decide to portion control and develop some sort of system with at home. Now, if you are calorie counting averse, you must do this groundwork work in order to get the results first and get some sort of framework that you can work out of. But this is going to be the best way forward. Hope this video helps, and if it didn't, go f yourself. Team, if you liked that video, be sure to click here for your next video or here for something that you may like, all that sort of stuff. And make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell to make sure you get all our videos. We make at least one video daily on a different topic. See you on the next one.